everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
My Waifu
and Me. And on today, we're bringing you, potentially, if I've done the numbers correct, this is the largest manga haul on our channel ever. And the reason for that is because we found some outstanding deals within the month of January. So let's get into this, guys. Let's go over all the manga that we picked up within the month of January 2022. All right, so the first volume that we picked up this month was actually Undead Unluck Volume 5. A sweet pickup here. As some of you know that have been watching the videos, I've been reading these as they come out. I haven't decided if I want to start reading it on the Shonen Jump app like a lot of other people do. So I've just been keeping up with it via the singles, and I've actually really enjoyed it. It's kind of a standard shonen series, but I think it has enough special aspects to it that if anyone hasn't decided to pick this one up yet and you're into shonen, then it's one you could at least check out. It has a lot of action, a lot of fun stuff, some really cool artwork. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. I'm excited to read this volume. I haven't read this one yet, but I did read volume 4, so I'm excited to check this one out.
I'm gonna go ahead and just get this one out of the way because it's damaged and we're probably going to return it. But this is Komi Volume 17, and yeah, at the top it's a little hard to tell. Well, you can kind of see it right there. It just got bent because we got it from Kino, and the way that Kino packages their manga, they do the plastic wrap around it. And Jerry didn't realize that had happened, so it's unfortunate, but we'll try to do something about that. So we'll replace it with something else, but Komi is always just a great series. I read 2 more volumes this weekend actually because I'm trying to catch up because there's already so much out. So right now I'm up through volume 11 is the last one I read. Yeah. And yeah, it's very cute. It's very episodic. You know, there's not really a huge overarching plot, so just keep that in mind. And I know that there's the anime now too.
The anime's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so good. So if you check out either, I think you'd like this a lot.
Yeah, and look at this awesome picture of Komi on the back. Sheesh! Next up, I've got Frayren Beyond Journey's End Volume 2. And I have to admit that Waifu and I have both not read Volume 1 of this yet, but we heard a lot of really good things about this series. It won a lot of awards, and so we went ahead and just my plan is to probably grab the first 3 volumes, read all 3 at once, and then kind of decide if I want to keep going from there, and kind of go on pause after I've grabbed the first 3. But I haven't read it yet. I think it's sort of a fantasy adventure manga. It does run in Shonen Sunday, I believe. That's why it's got this at the top of the spine there, so it does match the other ones that run on that magazine, but pretty sweet. So Frayren Volume 2.
Next up is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Volume 12. Super cute cover. Going into a new arc with this one if you read and catch up with this. Not a lot to say so far yet. I mean, the last arc was pretty awesome and it was longer than I expected, so that wrapped up in Volume 11. So if you're looking forward to continuing this story, this is out now. And I'm personally excited to keep reading it too. And
they're putting these. Impress is doing a good job getting these out pretty quick because
they really
of the fact that there's like just a lot of these. I think there's like 17 or 18 already in Japan. So I think they're just trying to catch up because it is a very popular series after the anime came out. And if you aren't already reading it, it's a fun shonen. I know I've only read I think 2 volumes, 2 or 3, but Waifu's been keeping up with it. So
I'm caught up besides that one.
All right, next comes from one of our favorite mangaka, and there's actually going to be a couple of his manga throughout this haul today. And the first is Shuzo Oshimi's Blood on the Tracks, Volume 7. We are both caught up to this volume, so we both read volumes 1 through 6, and it is definitely one of his best works yet. I think that if you are into sort of the psychological horror, this is the type of series you need to check out. It's very different, it's very grounded in reality, and that's kind of what makes it a little more terrifying. Yes. So if you haven't seen or read this series yet or heard of it yet, definitely check it out. The one thing about these volumes is they are super fast read. You can pretty much read one of these volumes in like 15 to 20 minutes, and that's because Oshimi really relies on visual storytelling in his manga, and I don't know, it works for me. It's not going to work for everyone, but just know that this is a very, very deep dive. I have heard maybe it's getting off the rails a bit in the current chapters in Japan, but as of where it is now in America, I am really invested in this series, and I think easily it is combating with his best work, which is The Flowers of Evil. So one of his also best work. So Shuzo Oshimi, Volume 7, Blood on the Tracks.
Next up, Beauty and the Feast, Volume 2.
Took forever on this one.
Really took forever. I don't know why it took so long. Yeah, it's Square Enix, if you didn't know. I don't know. it almost made me not want to get it because it took so long.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'll try the second volume. I did like the first one, you know. It was
yeah.
wholesome. But because it's been so long, it's like, I don't even remember really what happened.
Time for a reread. No, I'm
now I'm trying to read new stuff,
I
you know. But yeah, it's just kind of unfortunate because when that happens, I feel like you risk losing a lot of your audience.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just not good for a series. If you want a series to be successful, you really want to time your releases correctly. So
it's been like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate, you know. But hopefully it's good.
But it's hopefully cute.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I don't know. She cooks food for him. I don't know why the cover's like seductive.
It's a little
weird because he's in high school and
she's like a widowed adult or something.
Yeah, she's like a grown woman. So, oh well.
Cool. Beauty and the Beast Volume 2. Up next is a big shout out to all of my nasty men out there, and that is Do You Like Big Girls Volume 2. This one goes out to you, Caskalex. If you're watching, we went ahead and picked this up because the first volume was purely, it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful series. And no, I'm joking. It is honestly just a very ecchi, very, very adult series. So if you are not an adult, please do not pick this up. And yeah, it's an ecchi harem. I don't know what else to say about it. It's borderline, hentai. So pick it up if you're into that stuff. But he is with all the volleyball girls. That's the plot.
Next up, 2 more volumes of Oren. Jerry actually found these for me out while you were just kind of
it was at Kinokuniya actually. Yeah,
you're just kind of hunting. So we got 5 and 11. They're still wrapped up, so sorry for the glare. But yeah, we're just trying to piece this series together. You know, the box set
seems to be out of... It's not out of print, I don't think.
Not out of print, but it's just like widely
stock.
Unavailable.
Yeah.
So might as well just get the singles when we can. They seem to be slowly but surely getting those reprints out. Kind of like Black Clover, some of those early volumes. So if you're interested in picking these up, definitely keep a lookout for them, especially 1 through 5. That's what we've seen the most so far.
Yeah, 1 through 5 seems to have pretty heavy restocked. We were able to pick up like 11 and 9 kind of on a whim at other places. But 11 was at Kino, which is a primary retailer, so it might be restocking quickly, which might be a good sign that more of those upper volumes are going to be restocking soon. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Speaking of Black Clover, I picked up, probably erroneously, Black Clover Volume 4. This volume just reprinted. We had been picking up Black Clover as it was reprinting. So we picked up Black Clover Volume 1 when it reprinted, and then 2 when it reprinted, 3 when it reprinted. But then Waifu kind of said, Jerry, I don't think I want anymore. Yeah. And then I was like, I've already dropped the series. I was trying to read it on the Show to Jump app, and I kind of dropped it around like chapter 50 or 60. But I'm not going to lie, I keep wanting to give Black Clover another chance. We've both already read the contents of this volume in particular. Yeah. Because, like I said, I got to like chapter 60, which I think isn't until like volume 6 or 7, something like that. Waifu's actually caught up with the current Japanese release. It's weird. It's a popular shonen. It's a really popular shonen. Part of me just wants to keep giving it another shot. And I think maybe if I were to catch up, it would be one of my favorite series that's out right now. Because it just, I don't know. I keep stalling out on it. I think there's just too much shonen soup going on with Black Clover, which is like, I say that when it's just like something that has just like a lot of very heavy shonen elements that are present across a bunch of series. And I think that's why I keep getting stalled out on it, but I hear it just continue. It's one of those series that gets better and better and better with its shonen soupiness as it goes on. So, I don't know. I keep wanting to give it another chance. Waifu keeps saying, Jerry, quit buying it. We're not going to get the whole set. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I almost bought 5 and 6. I don't know. Volume 4 Black Clover, okay?
It's just more an issue of like, I don't know. I do read it weekly on the Shonen app.
Do we need to buy stuff we already read? That's a question we always ask.
Yeah, I always feel weird about that. Like I just read all of Sweat and Soap, right?
But the entire series. She read the whole series, guys.
I read the whole series because I knew it finished, and I judged it too harshly, But I'm also like, well, yeah, I liked it when I did end up reading it all the time.
At HVL Manga, Waifu loved Sweat and Soap. No, I'm joking.
We need to talk HVL.
That's what she went wild for this stuff, y'all.
But it's like, did I like it enough to want to buy it and spend, at least $100
$100-ish to get the whole set.
Because there's 11 volumes.
So, yeah.
So you just have to consider that. And, we're both working adults, but it's like, you got to budget your stuff. And with Black Clover, I mean, there's already 20 plus volumes out. So, I don't want it enough to want to buy it.
Right.
You know, I just want to like read it. And I think, yeah, we just struggle with that with a lot of things that we potentially read online.
Yeah, we go back and forth. Because, yeah, sometimes we buy stuff that we do read. Most of the time when we buy something, we buy it because we haven't read it. And that's what you'll see with a lot of our hauls, a lot of our videos.
Yeah.
We buy stuff because we haven't read it. So a lot of stuff we've already read in the past or we've read online, we don't go back. Like, we don't own all of One Piece or Bleach or Naruto, even though we both have read all those. Like, we've pretty much got, but we don't own them because we just never went back and bought ones because we knew we wouldn't be reading it. So a lot of times we're just reading.
They just be shelf warmers.
We just buy stuff to read, which is kind of a whole nother, you know, it kind of brings in this question, like, does our collection really represent all of our best taste? I don't know. Sometimes, and honestly, I'm about to show you one that's like, we both read it all the way through, but I keep buying it because it's one of my favorite series. So here we are. Let me show y'all.
No, wait, it's my turn.
Is it your turn?
Yeah, because you just put down Black Clover.
Bruh! It's Waifu's turn. Okay.
Maison Ikoku, Volume 6. She's looking real cute. I don't have much else to say about it. If you like romance and more adult stuff, I think this is definitely something for you out there. And of course, it's Rumiko Takahashi, so
she's done a great job.
I like it.
And Viz does a good job with these collector's editions.
Yeah, I love them. I love that they have like the flaps on the inside with some art like that in there. Trying to get it to focus, but
there you go.
Yeah. See,
really beautiful.
That's really nice, and then the quality of it too is very well done as well. So I'm definitely happy with Viz's. I think they do better with the Viz Sigs than just regular like Shonen or Shonen Sunday prints.
Yes.
Typically, I think they put a little bit more effort into these.
Right. And so on that note, this is one that Waifu bought because there wasn't really a way to read it online. So we bought it. She ended up loving it, so she's been buying them as they release. But on the flip side, like we were saying, this is one that Waifu and I both read digitally all the way through, and we read it via Amazon because Kodansha actually put all of these volumes up for free if you have Amazon Prime. So we read the whole series months before they even started printing these bricks. Yeah. But I am a huge fan of the series, so I keep buying them as they release, and that is the Shaman King manga omnibuses that they keep putting out. This is volume 16, 17, 18. This was the January release, and really great spine on this one because we have our boy Rin. And honestly, I don't know. I'm not reading these, and honestly, if I did, I'd crack the spines anyway. So I just kind of am buying them because I think they look great, and I really like the look of them on the shelf. They're not the best quality books, to be honest, but I just like supporting the release. I like supporting a series that I really love, and I do love the cover and spine designs for these, so I think they're going to look really good on the shelf. And like I said, we've read it all. We love it. Oh, I love it. Waifu was not
it.
She liked it.
Yeah.
But it's like definitely one of my favorite shonens of all time, so I keep buying it. Even though I've already read it. And so there's the flip side. So sometimes when things are coming out slow and it's not like buying it all at once, the idea of like, oh, I'll spend $20 every 2 months to put something on the shelf for something we've already read online. So it's kind of that question. I don't know. You guys should tell us in the comments. Do you guys buy stuff that you've already read digitally? Do you not? Do you only buy stuff you're going to read? I don't know. I'm curious what other people's thoughts on that question is.
Volume 4 of Sign of Affection. You all know that I have been reading this, and I read all the other 3 before this came out. Yeah. I think these are coming out a little bit slower than average manga releasing, so that makes me a little sad, but I think I can wait just based on everything else that I read all the time anyway. But definitely excited to try this new volume out and keep collecting this.
Next up, we have another volume from Shuzo Oshimi, and that is Inside Mari, Volume 8. Waifu and I have both read volumes 1 through 7. 8 is the, what is it called, like the right before the finale. So 9 is the finale of this series. It is all available to read digitally if you have a Crunchyroll subscription via Dimpa, but we've been just waiting for the physicals, which is maybe silly now that there's only 1 volume left, and the next one doesn't come out for, actually I think it's coming out super fast. But Dimpa's a really small publishing house, so a lot of times their volume releases kind of get pushed back. No disrespect to them, I think they make beautiful volumes. So I'm really excited to read this one and to hopefully finally almost finish up Inside Mari. It's definitely another great Shuzo Oshimi work, in my opinion.
Alright, back to Square Enix, but it's High Score Girl. The whole series actually isn't printed yet.
Yeah.
I think they have through...
Couple more? 10 total, and I think they've done like 7 or 8.
Yeah. So this is volume 4, and it was just something we kind of threw into a Right Stuff order because we just wanted to reach that free shipping threshold. But I do have
always
1 through
make sure
3.
you do that. Get 75 in your cart. Free shipping's nice.
But I mean, I do like the series, so I wanted to continue it at least, so it was a good opportunity to pick this one up. And if you don't know anything about the series, it's about these two characters on the front here that they meet and connect through video games back in the 80s. So it's more of like the arcade type of video games like Street Fighter.
Right.
And they have this kind of rivalry turned into romance type of thing. But I mean, they're kids, so it's like very juvenile romance, right, where it's like, I hate you, but I like you. And I know there's a really good anime too, and it's something that I want to try once I am able to finish reading the series. But yeah, it is Square Enix, so it's probably going to take forever for them to print the rest, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, it's cute, so if you like video games and you like a little bit of romance, I would recommend this for you.
Up next is a new volume of a series that I also really enjoy, and I've been reading them in these perfect editions, and that is Soul Eater Volume 5 of the perfect editions. One of my favorite characters, which is Death the Kid, on the front there. These are pretty nice editions, honestly. I read the first 4. I've never actually read Soul Eater. I'd only watched the anime as a kid, so I decided to actually sit down and read the manga because I've heard it's got a much better storytelling to it. It just paces a little bit better, and I really have enjoyed the first 4 of these perfect editions. You know, for those of you unaware, it was a popular shonen series back in the day. Bones did a really popular anime, and then I think the series kind of got forgotten about in favor of Okubo's follow-up series, which is Fire Force, which has been pretty majorly popular in the modern era, but still one of the old shonen greats is what I would say. So worth a read if you've ever wanted to check it out. Has a very cool Halloween aesthetic. I've really enjoyed volumes 1 through 4. I'm excited to read 5.
Not surprising, The Way of the House Husband, Volume 7. We're just getting this anytime it comes out. I mean, it's really enjoyable. It's wholesome. It's funny. It's very more reliant on the paneling and the imagery rather than, you know, writing or story necessarily. And I think that's what makes it hilarious, which I wish the anime was better, by the way.
It's a pretty static show, but it's still fun to watch, kind of.
I mean, it's fun to watch if you don't read the manga, but I would suggest the manga over the show, I guess. But yeah, it's super nice. I guess you would only really want to watch the anime for the voice acting.
Kinjiro Suda, that's why you want to watch it. The voice actor that plays the Japanese voice of, is his name Tatsu? Is that
Tatsu,
it? Tatsu is fantastic. He's one of the best, and he delivers the lines incredibly well. I mean, the series just comes, it's more of like a vomit. I think that's the word. It's like a video comic.
Yeah.
It's kind of how the anime is actually presented. It's not even like a full-blown anime, but if you like the voice work and sort of the sound effects and some of the color, then you might actually enjoy watching the anime on Netflix. So, I don't know. They're both good, but it's a very funny show.
Yes, it's so good.
The next is one of our... This actually completes a collection of ours we've been wanting to complete, and that is that we finally picked up Death Note, the Black Editions, Volume 2. I was kind of just waiting for these to reprint, and that's majorly because I just didn't want to pay over retail price, and originally I wasn't going to do the Black Editions. I was going to buy the box set. Then I changed my mind about buying the box set of singles, and I was like, let's just go Black Editions because there was like a deal going on. Whatever. We landed on doing the Black Editions for our collection. Death Note's one of those classic series that we're both huge fans of Oba and Obata, and I have personally seen all of their major works and over the course of the years, and I'm just a fan of all their stuff, even Platinum End, which we really should do a little discussion about because we both have read the whole manga and the anime is almost wrapped up now. But so we had to have Death Note in the collection in some way. Black Editions was the way to go. This completes our set. We're excited to have it. Death Note Volume 2 of the Black Editions.
Golden Kamuy Volume 24. I haven't read it yet, surprisingly. So I'll probably read it right after we're done with this video.
Or soon, yeah. I'm about to say, I'm surprised you haven't read
this
one yet.
Yeah, I just, work. But I'm so excited to see what happens. And I know that it's kind of going towards a conclusion in Japan right now. So we'll see, how many volumes there ends up being in total.
I think my guess is like lesser 30s, like 31, 32, somewhere in that range is where it'll probably land. Because I think there's like 28 in Japan right now, 28 of them.
I will say season 4 of the anime got announced also. Oh, yes. So we're really excited for that too, because Jerry's only watched the anime.
Yeah, I'm anime only on it.
So I'm excited to watch that too, because I think it's really well done also.
Right.
But yeah, Golden Kamuy 24, highly recommend the series.
Okay, so for our next couple pickups, these are some new series that I decided to start. Those were all my continuing series. Waifu has a couple more continuing series, but here are some new series that I've decided to actually give a chance to. The first one being one of Atsushi Okubo's, obviously his other work, and that is Fire Force Volume 1. So we've watched a little bit of the anime. I think we watched 8 episodes of the anime. It's like the conclusion of the first little arc.
It's like 8 to 10.
And honestly, we weren't amazed, to be upfront. Like, it's a beautifully animated show, but the story is pretty simple. And we just weren't really bought in on the characters or anything. But I really think that Okubo maybe does better work in manga form, especially after reading Soul Eater. I was kind of wowed a little bit by that. And personally, it's not that I don't think either of us hated Fire Force. So I think I'm going to give it a shot in this medium instead. And luckily, I was actually able to find this at a half-price book, so it was only like $5 instead of the standard like $10.99. So that was awesome to pick up volume 1 of this. So I'm not sure how many more I'll pick up, but we'll see in later hauls if I do keep picking up these volumes. If I really enjoy it like this, I definitely could see myself grabbing the next couple volumes and trying the manga form instead, and then maybe even going back to the anime and giving it a second shot. I don't think this is a bad series. I think this is just a series that is pretty standard, and it can be fun in its own way if you can kind of just turn everything off and just kind of focus on the fun and the action of it. And I think that that's where Okubo excels. So I'm excited to try Volume 1.
Yeah, so I still have a couple more continuing series. Kageki Shoujo Volume 3. Don't know what else to say about this. I mean, it's just an enjoyable series about theater.
I heard it's great. Yeah.
And
we need to get back and watch the anime. We need to get back and watch the
We
anime.
really do.
Really regret not finishing it.
What we did see of it is really awesome looking.
Right.
So,
really well done.
But for now, I'm going to read the manga, and I don't know, maybe you should too.
Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will.
But we'll watch it eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we say that, but
you know us. We'll get to it. Kageki Shoujo Volume 3. Okay, so another new series that we're starting this month is Record of Ragnarok, which has been very highly awaited. We watched the entire anime series when it came out on Netflix, the first season. Yes, there are some disappointments in the anime series, majorly having to do with a limited animation budget, but this is the story of ancient historical characters from the real world, for human beings fighting against gods. And, I think a lot of people were really looking into the animation thinking it was going to be like Sakuga heavy, like wild with Sakuga, but it was not. It's pretty static. And so instead, turning to the manga where the artwork is just absolutely gorgeous, was kind of our next shot at it. And we really liked we actually had a good time with the anime. Don't tell anyone. We kind of had a good time. But we wanted to give the manga a shot for sure because we knew that it would be a blast. So I've actually already read this volume. Waifu might read it. It's pretty much word for word the anime series, so there's really not much of a change, so I don't know what I was expecting, but it was really beautiful to look at. So there we go, Record Ragnarok Volume 1.
Next up, Dark Volume 3, just continuing this one as well. It's a dark sci-fi series by the same author as Dorohedoro. If you like that, HBL. I don't know if she's read this actually.
I don't either.
But it's very similar, just funny but dark with some of that sci-fi fantasy elements in it.
And man, Seven Seas, these are beautiful books.
They've done a great job. I just love, the coloring on that.
Yeah.
It's just
gorgeous.
They just do such a good job. Even with something as simple as the background color choice just makes the print, the text, and the colors of the illustration just pop so well. So I'm definitely very satisfied with what they've done with this series so far. And it has that kind of nice, it's like glossy on the front, but like matte too. I don't know how to describe it. Pick
Beautiful
it up in
books.
the store if you ever see it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. This is the type of book that I feel like won't yellow. It's going to be one of those books that'll really stay nice because you can tell it's printed on really nice paper.
Yeah,
and it's just got really nice. And so Web and Wheeze does it again. The big W for Web and Wheeze. We love Web and Wheeze. They just have great books, damn it. I love Seven Seas so much. Okay, next are 2 very special volumes that I want to show you all. So I have a buddy who lives out in New York City, and he attended Anime NYC earlier this year. Last year, actually. It was actually last year.
2021.
And he picked these 2 books up for me there because they were exclusive, and he actually just was able to send them over this month in the month of January, so I want to share them with you all now. And these 2 books were printed by Dimpa, and they're kind of a special, I don't know what to call this, but this is a special printing by Dimpa of Waltz, which is a one-shot by Shuzo Oshimi, and Miss Kusakabe, which is a one-shot by Shuzo Oshimi. So to compare, these are printed on almost like magazine size, but they're very tiny, very slim. You know, as you can see, they don't really have a spine in any way, but they're pretty nicely printed. I'd say that inside the pages are pretty nicely printed, but overall, it's kind of just a simple release. I think these were only like $8 each, so my buddy just charged me the cost of the books and the cost of shipping, so it was like less than $20 for you to grab both of these, which is really awesome because I do think these have kind of already gone up a little bit on the secondary market. I'm just happy that I had a friend who was there that was able to pick them up. That's because we're massive, we're massive Shujo Oshimi fans. That's the best way to put it. Love everything that I've read of his. I've almost read all of his series to date, everything that's been put out. And so I really wanted to have these in my collection because they're just a cool, like, one-off thing, even though you can get these digitally from Dimpa right now for a pretty good price if you just wanted to read them, which is nice. So definitely go support Dimpa. It's really cool that they printed these, and I'm really excited to have these in the collection.
Chainsaw Man, you all already know that we just pick this up every time it comes out, so Volume 9. Looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit more laid back of a cover than usual.
Yeah.
Just very simple, but definitely one of our favorite series. Super excited for the anime to come out, hopefully this year. Okay, so the next series I have to show you guys are it's actually 4 more series, and we found some really great stuff. So I'm gonna actually have to stand up and go get these. That's how wild this is about to be. So I'm gonna start with the first series here. I'm gonna go and grab it real quick. Okay, so I'm back. Here we go. So for those of you that don't know, we are big fans of just good manga. That's the real answer. And both of us have never really been able to engage in Naoki Urasawa's work. And that's mainly because he's a master mangaka, honestly, but we've just both never really had the chance to read it. I don't think there's great scans available online. There's not really great digital options for some of his work. So the best way to read it really is to own the physical editions. And a lot of them have either gone, not exactly out of print, but low out of stock, difficult to find. They've had multiple reprints, all this stuff. So one of the series I decided last year that I wanted to get was the series Pluto. And I was only really able to find the first 2 volumes for retail, but finally, here at the beginning of January of 2022, they started restocking the rest of the series. So I went ahead and just pulled the trigger, and I said, let's just pay full retail. I don't mind. So I paid retail, and I was able to pick up, this is going to be a lot, guys. Here we go. Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 8 of Pluto. And what this series is, it's an alternate retelling of the series Astro Boy. And I'm really excited to binge read this one because I think this is going to be one of my first Urasawa works. That's my plan, is to get through all of Pluto because I've just been wanting to dive into one of Urasawa's books, you know, between Monster, 20th Century Boys, Pluto, Asadora. He's just considered the master of one of the masters of manga, especially modern manga. And I really am excited. I think this is a great starting point and a great entryway for me. So if you can pick this up, definitely go grab these now. A couple different retailers had a pretty heavy restock on all the volumes. Great way to get it for retail. Go grab these, but a cool retelling of one of the classic works, Astro Boy. Same as Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen. It was volume 14. Really, you know, no big deal. But that's a pretty cool cover. I'll say
cover.
that. I think that illustration's really, really nice. Sorry for the glare again with the wrapping. We really should start unwrapping things before we film.
Yeah, Kino Kuniya just always wraps literally everything. This is everything. How our Komi volume got bent, is because the wrapping caught the volume up there, and when they taped it, they just taped it folded shut. So when I didn't even notice it in the store, then once I got home and pulled the wrapping off, I was like, oh my gosh, it's bent. But usually I need to check a little closer because, they always wrap these in plastic. But
to the collection.
JJK14. It's in the middle of one of the best arcs. Okay, another one. This was crazy. For those of you that don't know, Half Price Books is running a thing where every 2 months they have like a 10% off coupon that you can use. So Waifu and I both picked up a 10% coupon, and in January somehow we ended up using both of those coupons. So first I want to show you one of the series that I was able to find at Half Price Books. So every volume that I show you here, they were $4.99 a piece. $4.99, okay? And we applied the 10% on top of that, so I got like an additional savings on top of that, which is really not much per volume, like 50 cents per volume or something like that. But I'm gonna go grab this series real quick. Okay, so we were able to pick up volumes 2 through 15 of Twin Star Exorcist in the first print run edition. And like I said, $4.99 a piece. These were in beautiful condition, and I decided to go ahead and grab it because we did already have Volume 1, which we also found at Half Price Books a couple months ago. And I know this is a pretty popular monthly shonen series, so I thought it would be cool to go ahead and pick these up. I think we got these for about $60 for all these volumes, which is such an awesome thing to add to the collection. I'm excited, so obviously I haven't read it yet, which is kind of disappointing. I do know that it is fully available on the Shonen Jump app. If anyone did want to start reading this, I do believe it kind of had a not very well received anime adaptation a while back, but I have heard the manga is far and above significantly better. Okay, so I'm excited to try this. I know that 15 volumes is like an interesting starting point, but I thought I'd go ahead and try it. You know, if I don't end up liking it, I'll sell them, give them to someone for a good price. But if I do end up liking it, then great. I've got a great head start. Now I just need 16, I think, through 23 to catch up to the current releases. So really good start on this series. And like I said, it's all first print run. So you know we couldn't, like, that's a great find for Half Price Books. So excited to try Twin Star Exorcist. Here's a couple more. Here's, like, I really like this cover. This is the last one from this batch, 15. But I'm not going to show you all the covers on these ones just because we've got so many. But yes, volumes 1 through 15 of Twin Star Exorcist joining the collection.
So here's my last one for continuing series, and it's one that I'm really excited about. Been looking forward to this. Is the 4th and final volume of Boys Run Riot. This is a journey. It's been a series that I've definitely enjoyed. I'm sad that it's so short, but I mean, I'm sure the author knew what they were doing, concluding it this early. But, you know, it's such a great book about identity and, you know, coming into your own personality and your own person in general, because, you know, it deals with gender issues. So I'm excited to read it. I think that the ending is probably going to be satisfying, I hope.
Okay, I have to go get this one as well. This one makes me so excited. So we were able to pick these up for retail. This series has been sitting at a local comic shop for a long time. I decided to also pull the trigger for my birthday this month. January was my birthday month. I had my birthday earlier this month. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab these from this comic shop. I've been wanting to support them. And so we were almost able to complete this series as well. And let me go grab it. Okay, so here it is. We were able to get 20th Century Boys, volume 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, and 21. And I am so excited to add these to the collection. I already had most of the other volumes of the series, so I was just missing these ones, and so I was able to grab a lot of them. The volumes that I'm still having a tough time finding are volume 3, and then volume 17 and 18. I'm considering picking those up in the omnibus formats. I know that 17 and 18 are together in one. I think it's volume 9 in the omnibus, so I'm thinking about just filling that hole that way. Volume 3 is kind of eluding me. It's not a super pricey volume, maybe 20, 30, 40 bucks. Sometimes it goes higher than that. I just saw one sell on eBay literally today of this filming for $32. It was a bidding war though, so I just didn't get involved in it. But I'm hopefully going to be able to get maybe volume 3, and then maybe I might fill that with that. And then I might get 21st Century Boys in the omnibus as well, because honestly the last 2 volumes kind of go for a lot as well. But this is one of those series that's pretty hard to find, especially in the single editions. I think they've become a little bit more popular in the omnibus edition just because they're a little bit easier to find, and that kind of adds to the mystery and allure of it. I don't know, it's just one of those series that I've always wanted to read, and Waifu knows this, but I actually have had volume 1 of this series since I was a kid, and I remember reading it as a kid and thinking to myself like, whoa, like this is such a cool series, and for some reason adult Jerry just never went back and picked up any more of it. So this just continues our Urasawa collection, and hopefully we're able to finish this series soon and be able to read it. But yeah, I was able to pick up a ton of these volumes for the 20th Century Boys singles. And yeah, I like these way better than the omnibuses. So, you know, it was my birthday. So that's what I got.
All right, so this was a pretty cool find. This was a half-price find, and they were just sitting there.
Just
1,
chilling.
2, 3 of Inuyashiki. And, you know, we definitely watched the anime already.
Yeah,
just
we liked the
full
anime.
disclosure, we liked it. We liked
Yeah.
the anime, even if there were some X-Arm 3D moments. But,
Yeah.
you know, we really enjoyed it. We've considered picking this series up in manga form for a while, just because we did enjoy it. But we've been a little bit hesitant.
Yeah, just didn't
you
want to
know.
pay full price, I think.
Yeah,
and-
but then we saw it at half price
So.
for the first 3 at least, and you know, it's kind of one of those like, well, might as well because it's there and it's half price, you know, MSRP. So excited to have it in our collection. You know, good story. Same author as Gaunt's, if you
Yes.
didn't know that. So we like it. We hope you like it too.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it, it's really cool. It's about like pretty much two characters that get powers kind of adorned from space.
Yeah.
And one of them has one perspective that's kind of the good perspective, one's kind of the bad perspective. The two of them kind of clash on a moral level with these two powers. So it is a pretty interesting concept, and I think it works pretty well. Oku does a pretty good job with the series if you like that sort of high sci-fi sort of stuff. So definitely check it out. Okay, guys, listen. This one's a doozy, okay? So if you clicked on this video, you might be like, what did they do? This is the one that was the, like, I don't even know what to say when I found this at Half Price Books, because we walked in Half Price Books and there it was on the shelf, and I was just like, no freaking way, yo. So I gotta grab this real quick. Check this out. Here it is, one of my best finds probably ever at Half Price Books. And it's especially because we've never actually owned this series. We're both fans of the anime. And that is, we picked up the entire series of One Punch Man in the manga format. So we found all these. They were priced at $4.99 a volume. Not a single volume was priced up, despite I know some of them having some stocking issues right now. But we got volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of One Punch Man, as well as volumes, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of One Punch Man. And lastly, obviously, the last batch here, and that is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, which is the most recent volume. This one, I think, just came out in the last couple months of One Punch Man. This is a story by One and Yusuke Murata. Yusuke Murata has been redrawing it. It's the story of the bald-headed superhero that essentially defeats all the bad guys in one punch and living in a world of superheroics, which is a pretty awesome series. We both, honestly, I think it's one of the early, not the earliest, but one of the first few animes we binged together, I think when we started dating, which is crazy to think back. I remember binging it like at your parents' house, which is so weird when we were in college. And we binged it for the first season. We never went back and watched, we actually never finished the second season because it just kind of, it's not our favorite animated. So we always wanted to switch over and read the manga. I think you've read some of the manga, actually.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started reading it again from the beginning, and then I got a little bit into what would be, the second season of the anime.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped because I thought we were going to watch it, but then we never ended up watching it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's kind of a mess. So now that we own all of it, though, I am definitely wanting to finally give it its time of day and go back and just read the whole series, because I want to read the parts that I've watched the anime of, just so I can finally go through it. Yusuke Murata is just such a wonderful artist, and One really captured our hearts with Mob Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I know that he's got the storytelling chops to tell a great story. So I think that the two of them together just makes for a wonderful thing. But yes, we found all of this, the entirety of One Punch Man, on sale, $4.99 a volume, and an additional 10% off because of our coupon. So incredible find for Half Price Books there.
And last but not least, maybe this is a little underwhelming for our final.
No, this is a good fun. I think because it's a new series you want to start.
It is. It's the Fushigi Yugi 3-in-1 Volume 1 Viz Big. And it is something that I've wanted to start it for a while. And interestingly enough, Jerry really liked it when he was younger.
Yeah, I grew up loving this series as a kid.
He always has recommended for me to watch it or read it. This one hasn't really been in stock.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of in and out of stock.
Yeah,
all the
it's
Viz
been
Bigs
on
for
and
this
off.
set are out.
And we only really see it at one Barnes in our area, too. Which is pretty interesting. But finally, this weekend, we got paid. We got our paycheck. And we saw it. And he said, hey, do you want to pick this up? And I said, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to pick it up this weekend. Because
I think there's only 5, right?
Yeah, I think it's a shorter series. It's not like Inuyasha where there's 18, This one's way shorter. But isn't there a sequel?
There is, yeah. Genbu Kaiden is the sequel. I don't think they did Viz Bigs, but we actually. What's crazy is I used to own Genbu Kaiden because my sister gave it to me when she moved away, and before we really got serious into manga collecting, I actually gave it to a Half Price Books, and got $5 for it or whatever. But now I think that series goes for not a lot, but a little bit above or right at about market value, because I don't think they've kept those in print. Whatever, it's one of those series that, it is the class act of shoujo fantasy is really what this was. Sort of, it's actually an isekai to some degree. She gets sucked into another world, but it's a classic, and I love the anime.
I'm sure it's nothing like modern day isekai.
No, it's not. It's not the hero prince's upside down in a backwards world where he can only do backflips.
Too.
It is a classic.
She gets sucked into the well, and
sometimes people could, like Escaflowne is an isekai. Those are old school isekais, but they're not. Yeah, exactly. They're not like the kid who does the best backflips can bench press 1,000 pounds and jumps over the moon and also runs the castle. Like, that's not the title of these ones. Very classic series of shoujo. So there we go.
Fushigi Yugi.
And just like that, everyone, that is our January 2022 manga haul. We are so excited because this is one of the largest manga hauls that we've ever done. Something like over 80, 85 volumes, just because we got such outstanding deals on some of these amazing series that we wanted to pick up. And we just wanted to kickstart our Arasawa collection and kind of get jumped into that. So we're really excited for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining us again for another manga haul. We're hopefully going to be bringing you some more additional content involving some of our deep dives into some of these series. If you haven't checked it out already, we started our new podcast, Manga Musings. We should be getting out a second episode of that very soon, which is mainly our time where we kind of recap series that we've read, recap some of that. So go check that out. We can put a card up in here somewhere so that you can click that if you want to go check out our first episode, but also just be ready for our second episode, you know how you can do that? You can press that subscribe button, press that like button,
ring the bell,
hit that comment, smash the bell, all that good stuff, because that's going to get you tuned in with our community and just tuned in with some of the other manga content that we're going to be bringing here to the My Waifu and Me channel. So on that note,
I will say also, we're going to try very soon to also put the podcast up on like Spotify and Apple the way that the Plug Uncensored Anime Podcast does. I wonder who runs that.
I don't know.
This guy.
I don't know.
So look out for that too, so that you don't have to watch it on YouTube. You could listen to it on the go, in your car, in your private plane. I don't know what you drive. Your horse. I don't know.
Horse and buggy.
But just wanted to point that out too.
Awesome. On that note, this has been another episode of My Waifu and Me. Keep reading manga, keep loving manga, keep collecting manga. We'll see you guys next time. And this is My Waifu and Me, and we're saying peace.